Have you ever imagined that the person you trust the most could secretly harbor intentions that might shatter your entire life? In a quiet, seemingly peaceful suburban community, HOA Karen was not just a figure of authority, she was a symbol of control and influence. Everyone admired her power but feared her temper, and her presence alone could silence a room. Karen's home was the center of many social gatherings where neighbors would exchange polite smiles while silently acknowledging her dominance. Yet, beneath the polished facade of friendship and loyalty, a dangerous secret was growing, unnoticed by everyone except those deeply entangled in the hidden web of desire. Karen's best friend, a woman who had shared countless personal moments, laughter and tears with Karen, had begun to fall for a love that she knew she should never pursue: Karen's husband. At first, she tried to suppress these feelings, convincing herself that loyalty and friendship were stronger than her emotions. But the more she observed Karen's husband, the more her heart ached, longing for a connection that was forbidden, yet impossible to ignore. Days turned into weeks, and her internal struggle grew unbearable. Every smile she exchanged with Karen became laced with tension, every casual conversation a reminder of the love she was hiding. The jealousy simmered silently, but it eventually boiled over, fueled by unrestrained desire, betrayal, and frustration. One fateful night, when the moon hung low and the streets were shrouded in silence, she made a decision that would forever alter the lives of everyone involved. Her heart pounded, hands trembling as she approached Karen's house. She knew the line she was about to cross was dangerous, but passion and obsession clouded her judgment. As Karen opened the door, unsuspecting and confident in her authority, her best friend launched a sudden attack. The strike came from above, swift and fueled by the mix of love, hatred, and despair that had consumed her. Karen, caught completely off guard, scrambled to defend herself as the chaos unfolded. Furniture crashed, objects tumbled to the floor, and the peaceful home erupted into a battleground of betrayal and fury. The air was thick with tension, the sounds of struggle echoing through the silent night. Every move carried both emotion and danger, and for a moment it seemed like the outcome could go either way. Karen, realizing her life was at risk, summoned every ounce of her strength and courage. With a swift motion, she grabbed her phone and called the police, her voice trembling but commanding. The sirens pierced the night, signaling the arrival of justice. The attacker, stunned by the sudden intervention, tried to flee, but law enforcement arrived just in time to restrain her. The once trusted friend was handcuffed, facing the immediate consequences of her actions. Karen, still breathing heavily, embraced her husband, relief washing over her in a wave of emotions. Shock, betrayal, and fear mingled with gratitude and relief. The community, silently observing from their windows, was left in awe of the dramatic events that had unfolded. That night became a turning point, not only in Karen's life but in the entire neighborhood. She realized that betrayal could come from the most unexpected quarters, that hidden desires could escalate into dangerous actions, and that vigilance, courage, and timely intervention were essential to surviving treachery. Her life, once seemingly controlled and predictable, had been shaken, but she emerged stronger, more cautious, and aware that even the closest relationships could harbor hidden threats. The night ended with Karen and her husband holding each other, hearts racing, minds alert, but their bond undeniably reinforced. Lessons of loyalty, trust, and the true nature of human emotions had been harshly taught, and the community would never forget the shocking events of that fateful night. The aftermath of the attack left the community in stunned silence. Karen and her husband were shaken, yet determined to rebuild their lives, to reclaim the peace that had been shattered by betrayal and violence. Every glance and every conversation between them now carried the weight of what had transpired. They knew that trust, once broken, required time, vigilance, and conscious effort to restore. In the days following the incident, Karen reflected deeply on the fragility of relationships, realizing that even the closest bonds could conceal dangerous intentions. She took steps to secure her home and her personal safety, not out of paranoia, but from a newfound understanding of how easily trust could be exploited. Meanwhile, the woman who had once been her closest friend faced the full weight of the law. Arrested at the scene, she now spent her days confronting the consequences of her actions. Legal proceedings ensued, during which the depth of her betrayal and the potential for harm became painfully clear. The courtroom became a stage for the drama that had unfolded in private, and Karen's strength and composure impressed all who observed. The woman's remorse was evident, but it could not undo the choices she had made. Karen's husband, witnessing his wife's courage and resilience, grew even closer to her. They sought counseling, both individually and as a couple, learning to communicate more openly and to process the trauma together. The incident, while traumatic, became a turning point that fortified their marriage. Gradually, life began to return to a semblance of normalcy. Karen and her husband resumed social engagements, reconnected with trustworthy friends, and carefully navigated the social landscape of their community. They hosted small gatherings, celebrated milestones, and created new memories that helped heal the scars of the past. Forgiveness, although difficult, became a tool for their own peace rather than for the attacker's benefit. Karen learned that holding on to anger and resentment would only prolong the shadow of betrayal over her life, whereas releasing it allowed her to move forward with clarity and strength. Over time, Karen and her husband thrived, their relationship stronger, more resilient, and deeply rooted in mutual respect and love. The woman who had attacked Karen faced her sentence, reflecting daily on the choices that had brought her to that point. The community observed, learned, and whispered, realizing that betrayal could come from the most unexpected people and that justice, when sought and delivered, could restore balance. Karen's story became a testament to courage, vigilance, and the human capacity to survive treachery while preserving dignity and love. Her life, once upended by passion and betrayal, was now marked by a conscious effort to nurture trust, reinforce boundaries, and protect what truly mattered. In the end, Karen emerged not just as a survivor, but as a symbol of resilience, a living example that even the darkest nights of deception and danger could be overcome with strength, foresight, and unwavering commitment to justice. Peace returned. To her home, love flourished, and a sense of triumph settled in. The community, once trembling at the revelation of hidden emotions and treachery, now respected Karen not only for her influence, but for her courage, wisdom, and ability to rise. Above the chaos that had threatened to destroy everything she valued, the lessons were clear. Betrayal may strike from unexpected places, desire may cloud judgment, but vigilance, courage, and the pursuit of justice ultimately restore order and safeguard what truly matters in life. Karen and her husband, stronger than ever, embraced each day with renewed appreciation, their love fortified by adversity, their trust rebuilt through experience, and their lives forever shaped by the events of that fateful night.